The next part of this is who we are, what we're doing, and to get into that, I wanted to introduce my partner, Jeff Sella, who isn't doing anything new here. He has been in the banking world for a very long period of time, and we'll kind of unpack that as we move forward with this information. But Jeff, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Tejas. So the Lehigh Valley Private Equity Fund, as we've heard, is a Reg D evergreen fund, and preferred rate 7% with a 12% target. And these rates are not guaranteed. However, this is a range we believe we can deliver to investors based on our experience. I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and those are very reasonable rates that we can produce for our investors. And we're going to generate these rates in a couple of ways. As Tejas pointed out in the video, qualified lending to real estate investors. These are going to be short-term bridge loans. They'll be used to purchase and renovate investment properties and commercial properties. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. The fund will also purchase properties for a short-term hold. These will typically be things that the fund is going to rehab and resell, which is really a booming business right now in the Lehigh Valley. And the fund will also acquire certain properties for long-term holds as rental units. And those opportunities are also very prevalent here in the Lehigh Valley, as there's kind of rotation from investors that have been carrying these things for years and years that have decided now is the time to get out, and Tejas knows a lot of those folks, and so the fund will have the opportunity to acquire those. Back to you, Tejas.
Awesome. Before we jump forward, though, could you just talk a little bit about, because you have the experience, the difference between a Regulation A fund and a Regulation D fund, and then why we chose an evergreen fund?
Yeah, so the difference between the regulations is Regulation A allows non-accredited investors into the fund. However, there's certain restrictions on advertising, and you do have to go through an extensive process, what they call a qualification process by the SEC and the states that you're operating in this case, Pennsylvania. As far as the evergreen aspect, anytime you're in the lending business, it takes time to build a lending portfolio, and it kind of builds momentum over time. And so you want to have an evergreen fund that continue to attack those lending opportunities. And even as the market changes, there's going to be continuous lending opportunities. There always are. And so there wouldn't be the best interest of the investors to suddenly have a maturity date where we'd have to stop lending a year or two in advance to meet that maturity and dissolve the fund.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And a lot of that information, again, is available on our website. Earlier, David said something great about financial freedom, and that's one of the reasons that we came together to pull this off, to try to keep a high consistent return, and I get to talk about some of that. If you want to go to the next slide.
Okay, so we are coming to the end of the webinar, so this next slide, as promised from the very beginning, and also I've posted in the chat box to the right of the screen. This is how to get in touch with David, Tejas, Jeff, and John, and also myself. Just give you a few seconds to jot this down. This video, we also mentioned, will be on our website and posted throughout social media. Perfect. So that wraps it up. We at Real Estate Investor MBA want to thank all our panelists for sharing their expertise and information with everyone today. Remember, we'll be having another webinar on Friday, August 21st. From 4 to 5, and the new series, this will be Investment Series Part 2, how to 1031 exchange real estate right here in the Lehigh Valley. So if you want to join and haven't signed up, please do so. We'll be sending out links for that webinar later this week. And if you also know anyone or other accredited investors who are interested, just let them know to look out for the invite. Hope you have a great day.